welcome back to my channel. This is another how-to on how to paint and draw something complicated like this. This is my subject matter. To be completely honest, I haven't done much that has been this geometrical or that intricate. Usually, like, the best thing to do when approaching a piece like this is to figure out what the biggest shapes are and then put those in your canvas. So for example, we have a huge triangle basically right there, and that is your general formation. And then we have another pretty much triangle here. There's a triangle in the background right there, and then these are like small triangles. Now, one thing that because this is such a technical piece is that I find it easiest to make a grid. So for example, you have about a couple centimeters between the top of that peak and the top of your canvas, and then on this side you want to make note of where that horizon line is. So it's about a third of the way down your piece of work, so you'd want to make sure that you have that line there. Another major line is right in the middle here, and you can kind of see that by the bridge here. And this is all going to help you put this piece together on your canvas. Just details like this. And then you have a third major line right here. So you can tell that when this artist did this, that likely they used that system, 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 to the top. Here we are with our vertical lines. So there's one major one here. The peaks of all these mountains come up there, if you notice that. Okay, and then about, I don't know, a couple centimeters over, you have another major line, except that this time there's a gorge here, so it kind of goes inverted. And he's got this gate here, which is a landmark. When I first tried to start drawing this, I was doing the landmarks and trying to grid it from there, but in a piece this complicated, it's better to take the whole picture and then break it down. So then you have another line here, and again here, so you can start to see the grid that this artist was using in his piece of art. Now, thing about perspective too is it's fairly easy. Like when you come from the bottom, you see you have kind of another major triangle from here. You could even keep going right up to there. All right. So everything that is his vanishing point is right here, pretty much. Although your eye is deceived into thinking it's here. But he aims everything to that point. So you have, again, you're measuring here, 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 there, there. So there is a buttload of prep work that goes into a painting like this. And it's easy to kind of get lost in the details because your eye wants to say, hey, it's going that way and that way, which it is, but it is still straight along this line, and it still lines up here. So if you start getting all angled and funny on it, you lose track of the straightness of the lines and the believability of the piece. Alright, so what does that look like in in grid mode. Well, this is my version of it now. I am new at this kind of art, and I don't, like, again, I'm kind of learning as I go. What I just showed you there is stuff that I have learned about this piece after staring at it for about 2 days. I made sure that my highest peak was about the same distance from the top of my canvas, and then I did my triangle, okay, all the way down to there. Established my horizon line here and started to create the foreground. This here, again, is my major line going all the way across. I have the horizon line, and then I have all those peaks that were in the background. If you look closely, you can see my grid. So I'm breaking down all these complicated shapes into geometrical structures. So to give myself a grid as to perspective and distance and how things are angled and what the heck they're doing. So everything becomes simple shape to start with, and it gets more complicated from there. So that is the beginning of this, well, the beginning, but about the middle stage of this piece of art. And I'm going to take pictures along so that you can kind of follow my journey, and we'll continue. Okay, this has got to be one of the most complicated pieces I have ever done. It actually doesn't look too bad on camera. It looks worse in real life. But I am attempting to get my shading kind of and my highlights in generally where they're supposed to be. It's proving a lot more difficult than I had anticipated. This is challenging. This is a very challenging piece. Progress report. That's what I've got going on right now. It is this painting is unlike anything I've ever painted before, and I think it's quite just obscenely challenging to take what I have here and to try to figure out where the shadows are, where the angles are, and to make it believable. I get lost on it. But yeah, I don't know. Just kind of keep pressing through, I guess. I hope it turns out. It is neat, like, as is. And it's definitely not finished yet. But yeah, so we'll see. see how it goes from there. Painting is getting so annoying. That gives you an idea of the kind of detail that I'm going for with it. I really don't know if I like it. I guess the only way to find out is to keep going and just hope that it turns out. Where it is now. The perspective part is kind of cool. What I'm thinking about doing is shading the whole thing once again in a blue color to kind of push it back once I bring it out. It sounds redundant, but I've done it before and it does work. So it just helps to blend the colors and make everything look good. Details are kind of neat. Like when you go in close like that, it does feel like an actual place. You know? Obviously, I still have a lot of work to do on it, but yeah. I don't know, this painting's been very frustrating. It's not very rewarding either. This will probably be the only cityscape I do like this in the near future. Alright. Alright, so that's pretty much the finished product, I think. Unfortunately, the recording of the making of that horse didn't really turn out, so I have to show it to you as a completed piece.